Hi, this is El Jefe again. Orale, how you doing, man? Listen, today we're going to talk a little bit about the music scene in Las Vegas when I got there. I don't live there now. I moved out of there, but I was there for 38 years. Now, when I first got there, the way I got there was, and it could be, different people could have different stories, but I had a house band in Tampa, Florida, in a nice little hotel there. And a guy was passing through, a man and his wife. He was redheaded, freckles. She was a black woman, both handsome. And they said, "Hey, you're pretty talented. We are going to Las Vegas to play. Would you want to go?" I said, "Hell yeah, I want to go." Except, I had a family and everything. I said, "You're going to have to help me out to get there because, if you're a musician you're on the level that I was, which is not the highest one and not the lowest one, you're still not rich, right?" So I said, "If you can get me there, I'll be happy to do it." Wow. 1 month goes by. I says, "I need $3,000 to get my family there." And 2 months go by, nothing. 3 months, he gives me a call, which I forgot about by then. He goes, "You ready to come out?" I go, "Who is this, man?" And he reminded me, and I said, "Hell yeah, I can do it." The back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, I have a family. I have to move my household out there and whatever. And I thought he was going to hem-haw about the $3,000 to move. And he sent it. So I move out with another musician that I had in my band in Tampa. And we go out there and we start playing at the Landmark Hotel and Casino. It was a beautiful gig, man. We were playing R&B. The red-headed freckled guy sang his ass off, okay? He sounded like Marvin Gaye. His wife, a black, beautiful woman, sang her ass off. And she sang everything, every soul female song really good. So I'm happy. I'm getting my little career started in Vegas with this thing. Month, 2, 3 months go by, and stuff starts falling apart. The wheels start coming off of this band because the two people started doing cocaine. And they weren't taking care of business, whatever, and the band kind of fell apart. Not the band, but the situation where we made money every week. By the way, at that time I was making $300 a week, which was good enough back then in 1980. They lose the band, the casino fires them because they sometimes wouldn't decide to go up on time or whatever. So there I'm stuck in Vegas and the band's falling apart. So I sent my feelers out like I'm available because this band's going to be going soon. And sure enough, it did fall apart and become nothing. So the two guys, the man and woman, the married couple, could have been making money in Vegas for decades, but they effing blew it, okay? They blew it. So anyway, I'm playing around with different groups, and that was about the pay of a side guy, about $300 a week, maybe more, maybe less, whatever. Played out of town, took every job I could because I had a family, and man, it was kind of rough for a while, touch and go. Man, I was wondering, is this job going? Some jobs would fall through. My kids would be looking at me like, "Daddy, am I going to eat today?" So I had to hustle. So I was a good player. So I did come across some good musicians that appreciated a guy like me, what I had to offer. So I did my thing, played around for a few things, left town if I had to, did what I needed to do that. Back then, the cost of living was way lower than it is now in Vegas. It's a whole different place. But it was very, very, I still could make a living. Okay. So it was fun, you know, playing different music, sitting in, whatever. So that was a blast. So that's exactly how I got to Vegas. And it was, let me say, it was an experience, man. And the first few musicians that I met, man, I was, you know, I was looking at them like, geez, really? You are really good. And I have to really put my best foot out to you know, keep up with them. There was, geez, you know, I'm going to say some names. There was the Shantae brothers back then. There was the Lopez brothers back then. They still have a band called Santa Fe. If you go to Vegas today, look for Santa Fe or you know, Jerry Lopez, his brother Lenny, just crazy good players, man. Hustlers. They do what they need to do to keep it rolling. And I also, back in that day, ran across a guy named Roger K. Saint. He was my musical partner for shit, a long time, man. We put a band together that stayed together for over 20 years, or projects, you know, as it went along. So you attach yourself to good people, good, honest people, and see what happens. So back in the day, it was fun as hell, man. They were playing good music. You know, my genre at that time was R&B, but I like all kinds of music. Even today, me and my girlfriend Lori, we play a duo, and we do everything from Crosby, Stills, Nash to Neil Young, excuse me, to Bruno Mars and everything in between. I mean, a bunch of different stuff. So we're still having a blast, man. I'm still having a blast. We're not in Las Vegas anymore, but so what? You know, we don't play every day, but that's good too. You know, Lori and I just bought this house that you're seeing, and we're fixing it up, and we're doing this and that. So everything isn't always about music, but it's about life too. But I'll tell you, back in the day in Vegas, like I say, the going rate as a side guy was about $300 a week. And it could, like I said, up or below that was the normal. After I started forming my own projects, and I did some by myself, and I did one that lasted a long time with Roger K. Saint. Beautiful guy, talented. I mean, he's a drummer, he's a percussionist, and he sings his ass off. And we are gentlemen of a certain age, and we still produce, man. We'll be playing some stuff live as we do these projects, these little projects as we go on. But Roger can still play, he can still sing, and just a bunch of other guys. Santa Fe, the Lopez brothers, see if you can see them when you come into Vegas. They're serious players. They're beautiful. And there's a lot of players that do well. So, you know, my point was, that's how I got to Vegas, and that's how I started my career. We will talk a little bit more about this and what happened and what happens in the music scene. Well, we'll talk now. The Vegas music scene back in the day used to be beautiful, man. You could play up and down the strip, if you were a quality guy, up and down the strip for years, even decades, and it was not a corporate world like it is now. The strip now has very little live entertainment. Back in the day, the strip is a different place than downtown Las Vegas. But back in the day, there was a place downtown that hired bands 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day, they had a band there. Each played like a 4-hour set, or 4 hours or 6 hours. I forget what it is now. And on the strip, there was places that had 3 different shifts of music. So it was beautiful, man. You met all the guys, you played with other guys. It was just a good place. And again, let me reiterate, the quality of players back then was just phenomenal. I looked up to a lot of guys that were even younger than me that were just really good players. So back in the day, it was a beautiful place to work. Okay. Now it's corporate, and you fill in the blanks. It's not what it used to be. There's hardly any live music, and it goes on and on and on. So we're going to continue this discussion as we go, and I appreciate you guys checking in with us. We'll see you later. Bye. El Jefe.